Hello, my dear friends. Reshma here, welcoming all of you with a big heart filled with lots and lots of love. And I'm sure you must have had a nice time in the last few days, and winter is just going by. And this is also so beautiful this season, this time, when the summer is slowly but steadily coming and winter is going. And I always feel this transition time from one season to another, it do carries its own beauty. Last few days, in the last few days, every time whenever I was going out of my room and out of our home, just outside there are a lot of trees, and so often there's this sound when the leaves were falling. There was the wind and the leaves were falling and the rustling of the leaves. And when you go outside, or when I was going outside, the roads were all fully covered with all those dry leaves that were falling. Many a times at night also I go outside just to hear the rustling of those falling leaves, and the leaves falls like this, like this, like this. It's so beautiful. And then the road gets completely covered, as the carpeted with the dry leaves. And I just felt, even I did actually. I went without my socks and without my slipper, and I went actually outside and I put my feet in those dry leaves and walking through those dry leaves. And when we were walking that time, some leaves were just crushing down and creating a little sound. Some leaves were still falling, and it do have its own beauty. And I always feel it is these little beauties which just captures our heart. And now, as I say this so often, as I'm growing more old, now I try to find the happiness in the most unexpected corners, in the most unexpected ways, where probably I don't have to pay anything also, yet the kind of happiness that I get is so much. I just felt like walking through those dry leaves, where your feet is being covered with the dry leaves, the cushion, then the crush, then those rustle. It do have as if nature is inviting you, come and enjoy me. Why you always have to go for the holidays when you can have so many things just around the corner? It's so amazing. It's the little things. Another thing, I would love to share with all of you. It is just 2 days before. I love playing hide and seek with my pets and puppies. So I was just hiding at the back of the door, and I was just calling two of my boys, Zik and Zulu. And they just came around. They were trying to find me here and there. And then my smaller one, the Zulu, he found me and he came around. He was wagging his tail. And Zik is more sensitive in a way. He was more emotional stuck. So he was trying to find. Initially he couldn't find me. And then from a distance, the moment he saw me hiding behind the door, first thing that I saw is his eyes just became big, like popping eyes. And he was like kind of awestruck. And then he just, ran as fast as he can. And he came to the place where I was hiding. And then he just jumped. I have to take him in my lap. And then I just hugged him tight to my chest. That happiness. I just cannot measure that happiness with any other thing. And honestly speaking, last some time, I said in my previous post also, it had been so challenging for me, as if again fate has been picking me up, throwing me down, picking me up, throwing me down. So often I felt my bones were crashing. That kind of a challenging situation I was going through. Even in the midst of all those, when this incident happened, I just laughed from within my heart. And I can feel that laughter in every of the cells of my body. I needn't go anywhere to get that happiness. It is so, again, happiness is around the corner. We have to just find them. It's not always that far we have to look for. So now coming back, because most of the time I always try to motivate my young friends with whatever I do have or whatever I do can. And last time also I said, while going through the challenging time, I just tried jotting down something, some topics or some kind of a thing which I felt are so very important for carrying ahead or going through the life. One, as we discussed in the previous one, was what was it? Choice. Yeah. So that time I said there were 12 that I mean, till now I could have jotted down. The second in the line is the let go. So before going ahead, whatever the little I managed to, one of the happiest moments in life is when you find the courage to let go of what you can't change. So let it go. Again, one of the happiest moments in life is when you find the courage to let go of what you can't change. So let it go. So yes, let go is another important thing. Many a times it happens, we fight with so many things. We try to that those things happens the way we want, we desire, we need. Yes, fighting is good, fighting is right when we are fighting for the right things. But still, fate do have its own plan. Destiny do have its own plan many a times. And so those times it happened that even though we are trying in our best possible way to get and achieve and to possess to what we have, but still things are not happening that way. So that is the time that is, you can say, a clear-cut indication from the universe or clear-cut invitation from the nature around that is not happening. Probably there is a better reason for that. It's not philosophical. Many will say, I know, that means backing down and leaving it and leaving the fight. No, I'm not saying that. Letting go doesn't mean leaving the fight. Letting go so often means also that when we know it is a cancer, yes, we fought with it, but after a point of time, if God willing, things will be okay, things will be healed, but everything we cannot fight for. So it is better at that time to let it go. To make it more simple, because as I know, most of my viewers are my friends who are very, very young. So to make it more simple, for example, say if there is someone, a friend of yours, or someone with whom you just had a whole lot of happy time, happy memories, so many nostalgias. But say after a point of time, when you found things becoming very toxic, certain things, maybe he or she is also a best person, you are also a best person, best human being in your own ways. But there are times when certain things just doesn't works out between two individual or two certain something. It can be anything. It can be anything. So when we find that things are not working out, rather it is creating more mess, more chaos. Because and in that case it is poisoning our head and diluting our heart. That time we loses the energy, the fresh energy that we should have, because life is all about trying to be happy. We all are trying to be happy, and so in that pursuit of happiness, when we are kind of filled with chaos, madness, because of certain things which we are wanting but it is not happening, and still we are going on and on and on and on, then it is creating more problem than problem not. So my question is only one thing. I want to be happy. We all want to be happy. So if we know that something is coming in that route of happiness, then why allowing it? Why carrying that baggage? So it's better to let go. I know now the next thing is saying is easier than done. Always it's not easy to let go. But yes, when situations are like those, then we have to try to let go. And when we try certain things, maybe 100% will not work, but yes, to a certain some percent it will definitely work. Like there's that saying, na, ki when you want something from your heart, from your heart's desire, the entire universe conspires to give it to you. So when you try something from your heart, that yes, I want to let it go, I want to heal myself, I want to be happy in my own way, then you will see that little by little those blockages or those unwanted things or those cancerous cells, they are maybe not going 100%, but still they start dissolving, they start going, and over a period of time it starts just away and away, goes away. And then there's come a point of time when you feel so free, that heaviness, that load, it just doesn't exist anymore. And that time that feeling is awesome, it's so beautiful feeling. So yes, that's what I felt, while going through this challenging time period. This is another of my realization, which always, and by the way, these realizations are not one time. They always comes up again and again and again till the time we are alive, because certain realizations are eternal. And when we know about them, when we try in our own way to make our life beautiful and better, those realizations always comes true. So yes, I wanted to share this, this understanding, once again understanding with all of you. If it helps any one of my friend in a certain way, it would be so much, happy feeling for me also. So yes, thank you my dear friends, thank you all for always lending me your support, for loving me, for blessing me. So always be there with me. Have a nice time, happy time. Thank you.